All right, time is 7:03 p.m. I call the April 29th, 2026 Village of Suffern Planning Board meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. First item on the agenda, Kingston Blocks, the sign application, 3 Suffern Place.
You need to come up to that microphone, Mitzi.
Yes. Okay, so we got the information on it from the building inspector. We just got it right now. Looks like there's a few dimensional issues you got to talk to him about.
Okay.
So reach out to Adam, and then we'll put you on for next month, and we should be okay at that point.
Do you have his email address?
Yeah.
Okay. The clerk will send you a copy of this so that you have it and know what the issues are.
Yeah.
I have to come again to a board meeting? I have to wait
sorry?
for another board meeting, or I just have to finish it up with the building inspector?
I'm sorry?
I just have to finish it up with the building inspector?
Yes.
And then come back.
And then come back, and it should be fine.
Yeah, see, here's the
Got
copy of the memo.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, thank you.
Adjourn to May.
All right, we're going to adjourn it to the May meeting.
May 21.
It's going to be May 21st at 7 p.m.
The next one will be May 21st.
Yes.
Thursday, May 21.
Yeah, it's a Thursday instead of a Wednesday.
I'll send you an agenda.
All right, next up is 158, 160 Wayne Avenue, the multifamily project. It's a revised site plan, and then continuation of the public hearing.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. As you'll recall, my name is Dan Richmond. I'm with the law firm Zarin and Steinmetz, and with me on behalf of the applicant this evening is Pete Gato from Pete Gato Associates, the project's planning consultant, Mike Calise, project's engineering consultants. As you recall, the project's been before you multiple occasions through an exhaustive review process. We are, again, I think we're in the final strokes of just reviewing the project. We're trying to work with your board and town staff and consultants to finalize, to ensure that everything is buttoned up, I's dotted, T's crossed. We're here to answer any questions your board may have. But again, we're looking forward to moving forward with the project.
Well, what are you looking for tonight?
We would hope your board would adopt a negative declaration pursuant to State Environmental Quality Review Act, although based on discussions I've had with yourself and consultants, I understand that there's a recommendation that the board wait for the absolute finalization, in particular relating to the stormwater practices. Again, we've designed, and Mike can again answer any questions you have, a stormwater management system that ensures that this project is going to meet all applicable requirements, including fundamentally not as compared to pre-development conditions. Post-development is not going to change the weight of stormwater discharge or the quality of the stormwater discharge from the site.
So you're asking for an adjournment so that can...
Yes, I guess we would ask your board continue to your May 21st meeting as we discussed to ensure that we have this discussion
Okay.
and that we can finalize this and make sure it's all tied up with a bow.
Is there something going on with the test pits in terms of drainage? I thought I saw a note from Bonnie about the test pit location and depths. Are they?
That's all been addressed.
That was taken
Been addressed, all right.
I went to the engineering consultant.
There was, I'll let their speak for it, but I think there was one of the questions from the engineers, which I think we addressed, is the location of the test pits.
So, good evening, board members. As you had directed at a prior meeting, we did draft a negative declaration, but the one item that remains open is the stormwater pollution prevention plan, stormwater management. So our engineers looked at the updated SWIP, which is what that document's called, and they still had some questions which we directed to the applicant's engineer, one of them having to do with boring locations, test pits, and how high the system is above the groundwater levels. And so the applicant provided a response. We provided it to the applicant, we provided it to our engineers. Subsequently, the DPW director had a letter that he wrote indicating his concerns about drainage entering the village's system. So, and I think there have been separate discussions with the DPW director, but we think that at this point, the best course of action is to get our engineers, applicant's engineers, and Mr. Sawicki all on a phone call as part of a Zoom meeting and resolve what the drainage issues are so that the system operates and that everybody feels comfortable that any kind of drainage potential impacts are addressed. So that's where things stand right now. So the next step in the process is to have this powwow to talk about the drainage and then to finalize the negative declaration.
And has your engineer reviewed the underground storage capacity of the cisterns, I guess, that are being provided?
They were looking at that. And I think that's part of where some of the questions were coming with regard to elevations above groundwater. So that'll be, the technicals will be addressed as part of the call. But I'll raise that since you're mentioning it. I'll make sure that.
They seem quite small. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Right.
area prone to flooding, so
Right.
I want to make sure it's okay. And I noticed a drain in the back of each unit that feeds into this on-street system. What is that drain for?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
There's a drain in the back of each unit that feeds into the street system. What is that for?
The drainage that goes.
You have to talk into the mic, so.
Yeah, no, I just want to open the page, but the drainage system.
You still have to talk into the mic.
The drainage system's principally in the roadway. Behind the units are sanitary sewers more than drains. The roof drains are being piped around to the drainage system in the proposed roadway.
There's something behind, that's not the drainage plan, but there's something behind each unit that looks like a floor. Well,
That's part of a conveyance system for the drainage to work its way around and get into the proposed system.
but it goes to the street. On your drainage plan, that line goes to the street.
Yes, well, we have to also convey our water and then the existing flow around the units.
Okay, all right. And that must be what you're going to talk to Charles about, I imagine.
Yes.
As one of the things.
I think the issue with the groundwater level was that they were looking at it as if we were doing our test pits from existing grade. Instead of our test pits, the elevations were determined from the proposed grade, so we would get an accurate depiction of the infiltration rate of the soil. I think that's why the confusion on the test pits came from for the groundwater level.
And again, I just want to emphasize, as your board is aware, we've designed a SWIP or stormwater pollution prevention plan that ensures that the project is actually certainly not going to add to existing conditions in the area, and if anything, will slightly improve them.
Okay, and I was wondering, obviously, there's a little bit of public interest in this project, as you can see. Would you mind doing a brief overview of the project, just for everybody who's here? Yeah, just make sure you speak into the mic. In fact, if you want to face the audience, that wouldn't hurt either. We're pretty familiar with it up here.
Sure. Let's see, over this way. So, in case you're new to the project, we've been here a few times, but essentially, it's a one-level system in the front half of a site off Wayne Avenue, centrally accessed, parking off either side of the main arterial road to go in and out of the project. There are townhouses located on either side, and they're in little groupings of 4 on each side. And then there's collection areas for garbage and recycling along the way. In the back of the property, there's a turnaround for emergency vehicles. There's also a little playground area as well. The site continues kind of up the hill, and our property via a fence and a rattlesnake protection fence is going to be sort of sectioned off from the upper hill. So the property is collectively down in front here. set back from the street quite a bit to allow for safe visual passage to look either way, north or south, east or west, and also queuing up of the cars coming off the road as well. That's essentially, the buildings are modestly designed, 2.5 stories to resemble housing in the area, so the scale fits in contextually with the buildings across the street. It's actually shorter than the townhouses to the south. And that's really it. There's some amenities and screening and landscaping around the perimeter, low landscaping and seasonal flowers and such in the front. And that's essentially the project.
No, hold on. Are you finished with your?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a continuation of a public hearing, so if you have any questions, please come up, state your name and address for the record, and everyone's comments are limited to 3 minutes, so please feel free to come up.
And don't repeat what the person in front of you says. If you're going to say, just say you agree or disagree, because everybody gets 3 minutes. That's standard with the meeting.
Okay, good evening. My name is Ilona Armstrong, and I'm apologize ahead of time because
I have to get your name and
Okay, my name is Ilona Armstrong. I'm
And
a
your
resident of
address?
Suffern. Apologize ahead of time because my language is not legal and a lot of stuff that.
Okay, we need your address.
Oh, my
Your name
address,
and
sorry.
address first.
4 Hillside Avenue, Suffern, New York.
Okay.
Okay, so I apologize ahead of time. My language is not legal, so I don't understand a lot of legal terminology, but I believe that I represent a lot of local residents of Suffern who doesn't understand what's going on during the meetings, who is trying to search information online, and it's hard to understand, again, because of legal language. I feel like this project is a big development for our village, and public is not aware what's going on. We have a lot of questions. I understand you presented, but I feel it's not enough, and we cannot here is only small part of our village. So we have a lot of people who want to ask questions. And I request that before any negative declaration, anything gonna be approved, that village, hopefully together with developer, have a meeting, informational meeting for the public, okay? And first of all, we have many more questions about this project, but I believe if you do the public meeting, a lot of these questions might be addressed, correct? So my question for right now, are you gonna be doing that meeting, or are you going to do negative declaration today? Because if you're gonna do negative declaration today, I have many more questions, but again, I don't want to repeat something that may be already in documents that for regular resident hard to understand.
We're not doing a negative declaration today.
Are you not doing?
We are not doing, and this is the 13th meeting we've had on this project.
Yes, I understand.
If you go to most jurisdictions across the state, New Jersey, there's 1, maybe 2 public meetings. For transparency reasons, we've kept this open for 13 months.
Okay.
Next month will be 14. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome. We encourage people to come to meetings, ask questions. This is not something that we overnight have decided we're going to do. But literally, for transparency reasons, we've kept this open. This is the 13th month in a row, and next month will be the 14th month.
Well, I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming developer, I'm saying the whole situation. I feel it should be written in the code, hopefully, that any project of this size, you held a public informational meeting, not with legal language, but kind of settings where we can ask each other questions. Does it make sense? Is it something like village can consider?
Do you want to address that? Because we're complying with New York State law and regulations, and we're going, not only that, we have to notify the public, we have to notify everybody within 500 feet, and we've actually done it twice.
Well, I know you comply. I'm not saying you're not complying. This is something extra that we're requesting for, building public trust in village government. I'm not saying you're not complying. I know you're doing everything, by the book. But if you want to, address public, build public trust,
Well,
that would be a nice thing to do.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think what the chairman is saying is, they've been here, 13 times.
Yes.
And, they're going to be here a 14th time. If between now and the next meeting, you or any other member of the public have questions, you can submit written questions to the clerk. They'll submit it to the applicant. The applicant will address them. Again, this is for the board's review. It is important, obviously, for the public to know as well. But, in terms of meetings, they'll be here next month again. So if there are further questions, I believe the information is posted on the website. Joanne, is that correct?
I'm sorry.
The information for this project is posted on the website?
It's all posted on the website.
All the information is posted on the website. This started about really 14 years ago, I believe, when the zone was changed
15.
first. 15 years ago. So it's been out there for a while. So to answer your question, they'll be back next month. The public is here tonight. The public can be here next month. Nothing's the board's taking no action tonight. So
It's just hard to collect all the pieces from information all over, and I feel the meeting would be like a great thing that village can do for public.
okay, thank you.
So no negative declaration tonight, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Deborah Trotz. I live at 168 Wayne Avenue. I emailed the village clerk yesterday, and I addressed it to all of you, and I just want to make sure you all received my email.
We were actually going to read it, but...
Excuse me?
We were going to read it.
You haven't read it?
No, we were going to read it tonight.
Okay, thank
No, I've
you.
read it.
Okay, thank you.
I read everything.
I have 4 major concerns on that, and those concerns are of utmost importance. Primarily, the density of the housing, the buildable square acre density, not up the mountainside. And we live in a garden apartment, single-family home neighborhood. This is not garden apartment or single-family home. It does not fit in our neighborhood. I understand they have a right to build, but this is not right for the neighborhood. And the other issues on my letter, I think you said you're going to read. So, by the way, you said this is the 14th meeting?
13th.
I live 4 houses down the road. The only way I knew about this, what was happening there was a stick in the mud out by the street that announced that there was a meeting back in February, and my neighbors who mentioned it.
Excuse me.
None of us received anything.
It was publicized in the newspaper.
Which newspaper?
The Journal News.
I don't get the Journal News.
Okay, well, but this is the law that we have to follow. We have to publicize it.
I'll bet 90% of the people in this village don't get the Journal News.
But that's why
so you
it's
have to do
posted.
better.
That's why it's posted.
You have to do.
Anyone else?
Anybody else?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Margaret Perry. I live at 9 Lexington Avenue in Suffern. I just have a few questions.
Your first name.
Margaret Perry. Yeah. So I think about 10 plus years ago, there was a developer who did try to develop on this property, and I thought from my memory that it was actually designated as a flood zone area. Has that been brought up at all, or?
We'll address your questions at the end. If you just
Oh, okay, sorry. And then, in terms of, I guess, all the meetings and everything that nobody was aware of as part, we live next door to the property, but has there been surveys done in terms of, traffic, DPW, all of that?
We'll address all that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Ask all your questions and we'll address them.
Yeah, and then I guess I think the third question would be in terms of building up the back, up the mountain, how many trees would have to come down, and then how will that also impact storm, drainage, flooding, all of that?
Is that it?
Yeah.
You want to address any of those trees and... Actually, all right, what, come on up and we'll address them all at the end.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Michelle McElhatton. My address is 11 Lexington Avenue, Suffern. I am a Suffern native, but I am new to the Wayne Avenue area of the village, and I recently learned about the project from neighbors who expressed concern about it. being a newcomer to that area, one thing that I've noted in the 2 months that I've lived there is much more traffic than I ever expected. I did see that there was a traffic survey done. However, I'm concerned, with children, and in a neighborhood that has other young children living there. I am concerned about the additional traffic that this development will bring in. I'm concerned about the safety of, my family and my neighbors. The other question that I have, is mainly related to just understanding the logistics of, how the property will be used. I understand that they're building townhouses. Are these townhouses for purchase? Are these townhouses for rent? Is there an HOA associated with this development? Those are some of the questions that I have right now.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak, ask questions? Mr. Richmond, would you like to address?
I think you've already addressed most of it. I mean, again, in terms of process, I think this project, with all due respect to your board, and I know, and I appreciate your board's paid a lot of attention to this project, and it's been subject to this intense scrutiny.
Well, just why don't you answer some of the questions? Is it in
Sure.
the flood zone?
It's not in a flood zone.
Has there been traffic study?
The traffic study shows that the project's not going to have any traffic impacts. The density of the housing is permitted by the zoning. That was a legislative determination by the village board. In terms of rental private, I don't think that's been determined, but I think, as your board knows, that's not a relevant consideration. The consideration is the project's impacts, not the form of
Do you know
ownership.
what the plan is for that or not?
I don't know. But I think it was, again, it's the issues that your board has been focused on like a laser for the past 13, 14 months. Again, we're handling the stormwater impacts from the project. We've done a traffic study, I think, as the speaker even acknowledged, that shows that the project doesn't have any impacts. We're not in the flood zone, and we're complying with zoning.
The lady asked about building up the mountain too, and I know you're not
We're not
doing
touching
that.
the mountain.
You're not doing that, but she doesn't know that.
We're developing the area permitted by code. You're not allowed to, we're not allowed to develop in anything of a 30% slope. We're not near it. So we aren't going up the mountain with any proposed development.
In fact, I mean, as Pete mentioned earlier, we're putting a fence between us because of, the rattlesnakes up there.
And all of the documentation is available online, traffic study, everything else. The SWIP is now online as well, so feel free to go on the village website and you can look at all that.
The SWIP, that's a stormwater prevention plan.
Anybody on the board have any comments? All right, do we have a motion? Oh, go ahead,
Read the letter.
Ms. Franzen. By the way, Bonnie Franzen is the planner for Nelson Pope, who works
Yeah.
with the village.
I just want to clarify for the benefit of the public, it's not that there won't be additional traffic. So of course, the traffic's going to change. But the plans were sent to the New York State DOT that regulates Route 202. And they indicated that based on their review, because they ultimately have to permit the road opening, that they didn't see any concern with regard to there not being capacity for the additional traffic. So I just, again, when we say there's no change, no impacts, yes, there's a change. It's just that DOT has said that it can be handled through the existing capacity. And so at this point, I think everybody's focused, especially on drainage in particular. But much of what a lot of the current concerns you've raised have been reviewed by the board.
Okay, and Ms. Trantz, I have your email here. I'm just going to read the 4 points that you have to sort of summarize it, if that's okay. All right. And, we're all aware of it. We all got it. The applicant is aware of it. Number one, what is the density per buildable acre of this project compared to Berkeley Square and Rockledge Gardens? Both are garden apartments. The plans for this project only allow for a narrow green space between the buildings and property lines. It is for family where will children play catch, throw a football, and run and play. Where will owners set up a chair to socialize with neighbors while watching their children? Berkeley and Rockledge both have ample green space around them. This does not, a small playground is not the answer. Number 2, there are only 2 extra parking spaces. This is asking for tensions and disputes within the community. Where will a high school or college-age child park their car? Where will friends and family park if an owner had a birthday or holiday gathering? Number 3, during heavy rains, the water drains off the mountain behind our homes. It often flows for several days and settles in the front yards. The building site will have a lake in front of that, can take up to a week to be absorbed into the ground soil. A gentleman at the February meeting explained that the water will percolate into the soil. Most of this property will have structure and asphalt on it, very little ground to percolate into. Will the water be displaced onto the neighboring properties? The gentleman also mentioned drainage will be installed. The storm drain system along Wayne Avenue is very old and at capacity now, sometimes overflowing. Will new infrastructure be needed to replace it in the future to accommodate this? Number 4, Route 202 is a busy highway. In the morning and afternoon, buses cause long lines of traffic. It's difficult to leave our driveways now with traffic at any time of the day. This will add more to the traffic. Children waiting for the buses at the same time traffic is leaving and entering the property is also a safety concern. Does that adequately summarize your concerns? Great, thank you. The drainage issues are being addressed. A couple of months ago, people did bring that up. Bonnie Franson is our planner with Nelson Pope Voorhees. We rely on her. Her firm reviews everything. I had a conversation with her at length after that meeting, and now, you know, this afternoon, engineers from both sides are going back and forth to come up with a date and time that works so they can hop on a Zoom and work everything out. I will say this, they are addressing the 100-year storm, so a massive storm, so most of the time they're taking care of more water than is going to be produced. You know, but they can also take advantage of and deal with the storm water that happens in a once in a 100-year massive storm. We'll have more to discuss on that at the next month's meeting. But no, people raise concerns. We took them seriously. And again, you know, Bonnie's probably tired of hearing from me, but her engineers are on it along with the applicant's engineers. So do we have a motion to adjourn this to the May 21st, 2026 meeting, 7 p.m.?
I'll make that motion.
Motion, Mr. Stanbridge, about a second.
Second.
Mr. Byrne, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion's carried. Thank you. We'll see you next month.
We'll see you next month.
Do we have any miscellaneous? I don't think so. Old business, 78 East Maltby Avenue, the 2-lot subdivision. We need a reapproval for updated signatures and filing.
So that's not on the agenda tonight. I'm not sure if the board's... Oh, okay.
He's here. I see him.
You can come on up. So that's not going to be heard tonight. Just to explain to the board previously approved this subdivision, and the map was signed. There's a time constraint within which the subdivision map must be filed with the county clerk. The applicant did not, and not this gentleman, but was it?
It was
you,
me.
yes.
Yes.
The applicant did not comply with the time frame, so the county clerk would not accept it. So they're back basically to get a reapproval, and you know, there's nothing has changed other than he didn't file the map on time. So
yes.
He submitted a new map. We are sending it to county planning. We got it tonight or yesterday, whenever it was, in the last couple of days. So we should have it back in time for the May 21st meeting, you know, and address it there. But it's, you know, again, a matter that was already before the board, that the board already approved.
So barring any unforeseen circumstances, everything should be fine on the 21st.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, Pierre.
We have a motion to schedule the May meeting for 7 p.m. May 21st, 2026, which is a Thursday.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Halper, do I have a second? Mr. Stanbridge, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Byrne, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Halper, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.